Hello everyone, this is Coach Sean, and we have finished reviewing the hitting video from early December, and we're now just putting together your hitting lessons. There's some things that are common amongst a lot of our hitters that the videotape is showing us, and I just wanted to start by reviewing some of these things so that everybody can become familiar with them, what they are, how they affect your swing, what you can do to correct it, practice drills, etc. What I'd like everyone to do after you read these things is stop your video, go online, go to our website, saintsbaseball.club. Once you're at the website, saintsbaseball.club, I would like you to go to the features page, and I'd like you to watch the following videos. The first one I would like you to watch is Fix Your Flat Swing, Master the Snap Drill. I believe this drill is essential in any hitter's swing. If you do not move your hands, turn the triangle, snap the bat rearward, and pull your hands through a swing, you're not going to have your best swing. You're not going to be able to attack the balls on the corners and things of that nature. A flat swing is going to have trouble hitting outside and inside pitches. What we are trying to build with our hitters is a complete hitter, somebody with no holes in their swing that can attack all the balls in the zone and drive the ball from gap to gap at your 18 to 22 degree upward plane, thusly making each hitter the best they can be. So again, if you do not snap your bat correctly, this drill is perfect for slowing it down, duplicating it, mimicking the process, and is something that everybody should be able to do or know about so that they can work on getting there in the future. So again, I'd like you to start by watching those two videos. I think 3 videos associated to that part of the drill. The second thing I'd like you to watch is casting your hands in the swing. It's the second video on the page. Casting your hands is something that most of our hitters are doing. A large number of them anyway are doing. And casting the bat, simply put, will flatten your swing. Okay, it's the incorrect use of your hands in the swing that flattens your plane of your bat, which is going to make you, again, have difficulty hitting inside and outside pitches. It's going to give you holes in your swing, and this is a great video series so that you can understand what it is, how you're doing it, and again, ways to fix it. So that's very important. Thirdly, loose hands drill. It's lower down on the page, and I have a feeling from watching these videos that not everybody's holding their bats correctly. The bat should be held very loosely, and every one of our players should investigate using a grip aid, whether it's pine tar or the tacky waxy substances, something of that nature. But if you look at a major league on deck circle, there's probably 4 or 5 grip aids that the batters are using every at bat before they go to bat in most cases. And on the Saints team, we've got literally 1 or 2 people using pine tar, and not on a regular basis. So again, I would like all the players to understand how to grip a bat, the best way to grip a bat, why they're gripping it that way, and how it contrasts with what they're doing. And I'd like them to try to mimic and copy the folks in these hand drills so that they can, again, feel the difference in the swing with loose hands. So we've got that video. We've got the Justin Turner's loose hands bat grip, which all that does is show his loose grip preload. Again, very important for the kids to get that, let it sink in, and see if they can change their grip to get their hands and wrists looser in the swing. So go ahead and go watch those and then come on back to your lesson. Okay, now that you've done that, let's talk a little bit about what we're trying to achieve here. In general, a hitter that is approaching 15 years old, or by the time he reaches 16, he should be very proficient at covering the zone, meaning having a swing that will produce a line drive anywhere from gap to gap at anywhere from 16 to 22 degree upward trajectory. A player should be able to hit a pitch in that direction that is anywhere in the zone. That is a batting practice or soft toss pitch or off a tee. Okay, yes, it's a different thing when you put a live pitcher in there throwing top speed for your age group, but by age 15, 16 at the latest, you should be very well accomplished with the quick short swing that covers the whole zone, that puts the ball into the right place. So what we're trying to do is build that with each player, and what we're seeing from just a few flaws, not a lot of stuff needs to be cleaned up with a lot of our hitters, but this snap drill and how you initiate the swing and casting the hands are the two biggest things we need to fix so that our kids can get on the trajectory of being able to hit a ball in the strike zone where they need and want to hit it. So our goal is trying to get you all in that direction. So that's what we're working on here. That's what we're trying to accomplish. So the first thing I want to show you here is this hitter performing the snap drill. And let's just roll it so you can see it. Okay, let's play it live. You see how he does it nice and slow, making sure he's keeping everything in its right position with the right sequence. And this drill right here, we're going to call the snap drill. And I believe every one of our hitters on our team needs to practice this a lot on a regular basis. Even after you master it, you need to keep doing it just to make sure it stays regular and an easy feeling for you. And let's take a look at some of the breakdown on this thing here. So what you're trying to achieve is more of a horizontal or downward swing. As you can see at the point of contact, so to speak, the angle of his bat. Okay. That angle right there is what you're trying to achieve on most pitches, not an outside and high pitch, for example, but for a lot of the pitches on the plate, that's the angle you're trying to achieve, okay? So, of course, he did that and achieved that angle by starting with a good triangle with this 90 degrees. He's got a proper hand grip. Okay, look at that really close. And as you move it forward here, he's snapping the bat rearward. Snapping the bat rearward. And one important thing in being able to do that, which is also part of the snap drill teachings, is this right here. The right forearm for a right-hander, left forearm for a left-hander. This degree should always be close to 90 degrees at all times until you get into the power V, or the tail end of your swing. So as you watch that angle through the swing, you can see he's kept it more or less at contact right there. Okay? So the relationship of the forearm to the bat should always be 90 degrees. When you start the swing, the first movement here, there's his go right there. His triangle starts to turn, his bat comes rearward, his forearm and bat are at 90 degrees, and he simply maintains that posture through the swing. And you can see there he really starts to get his left elbow moving forward and around and up, and starts plunging his left shoulder rearward. Okay? So as you watch this here, see how far that left shoulder or left elbow is going to maintain his 90 degrees. Now he's essentially turned his triangle all the way, and it's facing the pitcher. Okay? If you do not, which a lot of our hitters don't, if you do not turn that elbow up and out, that elbow will stop right where it's at. Okay? If your elbow stops in here, which a lot of our players' elbows do, if you're stopping here, the only place for the arms and hands to then go, the forearms and the hands, is out and around that elbow. Okay? So these are then going to come outward. Okay? That would be his arm extended right there, so to speak. If he stops the elbow, this hand has nowhere to go but out and around the elbow. Okay? Which will make you cast your bat, which will give you a flatter swing plane and make it tough to reach inside pitches and outside pitches on a regular basis. So again, this snap drill is something everybody should grab a wiffle ball bat, standing in front of a mirror, practice this methodically, slowly, until you get it and it's comfortable. And once it's comfortable, you should continue to do it on a regular basis. Okay? So let's flip this for our left-handers. Let them take a look. Okay, this drill is real easy to practice as well. What you do is you get in the batter's box with a tee, you get your feet lined up, you take and you measure the distance from the hands to the sweet spot of your bat, and you get in this position, put the bat near the ball, you recreate this whole position right here, and then you simply back it up to your load and you slowly proceed between the 2 points until you can do it quickly and correctly. Okay, so I want everybody to work on that. I want you to do it at home. I want you to do it in the cages, at practice. I really want everybody to concentrate on gaining what it feels like to start your swing like this. Very important. Okay, here's another version of the snap drill. It should also be practiced with one hand. This is the portion of the drill where you're concentrating on a 90-degree or a perpendicular angle, 90 degrees from the bat to your left elbow or right, your forearm or your right forearm if you're right-handed. Let's watch this gentleman demonstrate the drill. So along with the other version of this, everybody should practice this on a regular basis. You should get it to feel as comfortable as possible, and some of the things to remind you of here is you can see how the elbow and everything starts to slot and everything works together simultaneously. The same thing with the two-hand snap drill, okay? So now we've got this flipped for right-handed players to see what it looks like. Okay, so again, the ability to do this and master these drills and get a good feel for handling the bat like these instructors are. Again, bat speed controls how far and hard we hit the ball. So you want to gain as much bat speed as possible, and you can see the whip from laying it down like this is how you're going to gain more bat speed, okay? That's how early bat speed is gained. The second thing it's going to do for you, it's going to get the bat on the right path, which is going to help you hit more balls where you want to hit them. So keep all that in mind as you're practicing this drill. And the third way to practice the snap drill is with a PVC pipe. Okay, and here is the third way to practice the snap drill, and this is with the PVC pipe that was provided to you by Chris, or this could be with a broomstick, something of that nature. And let's just watch this gentleman. You can see how he moves everything simultaneously. Everything's firing at once. The snapping of the hands, the slotting of the right elbow, the upward movement of the left shoulder and elbow to turn the triangle, and bam. Okay, now again, this is exaggerated. You're not going to exactly swing this way every time, but it does show, and by exaggerating, get everything moving in the right direction on the right path. So let's flip it for our left-handers. Okay, so there are the 3 ways to practice the snap drill, and I highly suggest everybody masters these drills. Get them looking just the way these instructors do in the video. Okay? So here we have Justin Turner loaded in here, and I want to take a quick look at the ending of his swing so that we have contrast for later when we get into the individual videos. But you can see he's 3/4 of the way through his swing here, and if we draw a line right here, this line indicates what a lot of our players are doing that are casting their hands. If you cast your hands, what that's going to do, it's going to stop your elbows in this area right here of the swing. It's not going to allow you to get to this position. Okay? So again, take a quick look at that and then parlay that into your swing and see what the differences are. But if you do stop your elbows and cast the bat, that's what's going to give you the rotational, flatter swing. So here is Aaron Judge, and let's look at his full swing. Again, look at the same points. As he's 3/4 of the way through his swing here, before contact. You'll see that he maintains his 90-degree relationship with his elbows and triangle. You'll see here that his elbow is way up by his shoulder. His shoulder is moving rearward. And it appears he's got a ball on a pretty good trajectory, and with his bat speed, I'm assuming that's a home run or close to it, right there. He's got a perpendicular relationship here with the bat and the flight of the ball. He pulled his hands inside nicely, and he got some nice results on this swing. So if we look at the front of the swing here, if you look at the hands, and the elbows, you will see that all that stuff moves simultaneously. You will also see his left elbow simply goes upward, like so. So let's go ahead and get into the individual lessons, and we'll discuss some of this stuff in further depth as we have you on the screen here. Okay, Colby, here is your lesson. I just wanted to point out that at the end of your lesson, I'm going to attach video of your raw swings so you can see all of them from all the views. When you're watching them, just look at the relationship of where the pitch is to where and how you hit it, how you make contact, the flight path of your ball that you hit, and just put that in the memory banks, and we can talk about all this later. So let's get into your lesson. Okay, so here's your action plan, Colby. I know you've been working hard. I can tell you want to learn. You know, I commend you on your efforts. Let's get you some stuff and some directions here. First of all, an action plan is going to keep you on course on where you're going. What I want you to do is gain knowledge on the snap drill and the laser drill. Practice it slowly, methodically, until you can get it down, and then speed it up. Uh, you know, you arm bar a lot when you're swinging. I think if you practice the snap drill in the 90-degree, you know, turning the triangle and things like that, that's going to, you know, you're not far away from a really good swing. You've got a lot of power, a lot of bat speed. I think if you master the snap drill and the laser drill, you're going to find out that you're going to have a lot better contact, drive the ball where you want to drive it. So let's put that high on the list of things to do. Again, number 2, eliminating the arm bar and casting. Again, very important in your swing. 3, you know, you don't have a bad leg kick, but you can see you just go straight back and straight forward. I do have some videos. I'm not certain they're posted on the website. If not, I can send them to you or get them to you. But when you pick up that left leg, it should be more of a hover and kind of wait until you decide, you know, where you need to swing, and then you set it down and go for it instead of just automatically back forward, more of a hover and you know, move the hips just a little bit differently. So I can show you that in the cage and some video that you can watch. Number 4, it looks like you got really good hands, loose hands and wrists in the swing. I don't think there's any issues there. I would like to visit your grip up close and see if there's anything we can change or improve. And pine tar, you know, use some grip aids, see if that helps, see if it changes anything, feels better, feels worse. Again, most major league players use grip aids. There's a reason why. Let's see, you know, if that's something that you can feel a difference in your swing and go from there. And lastly, roll weight. But again, the strength of your forearms, wrists, and hands and all the muscles within those areas, that is what controls your swing. Stay on a trajectory over the winter here of doing that 3 times a week, 3 sets of as many as you can do, and it's only going to help your hitting. So again, you are casting your hands and arm barring your bat. I think if you eliminate that, get a little bit more hover in your leg kick, you know, I think you have great potential to become a consistent hitter. If you look at a lot of your contact in these drills, your contact's off. For example, in the picture that we have here, you're contacting the ball not in the sweet spot, but closer to the beginning of the barrel of the bat. So, you know, when you arm bar and you become more horizontal, then you have to compensate with your swing and how early or how late you do it as to where you contact the ball versus mastering that snap drill and just coming right down, just dropping the barrel on the ball. So again, you know, you got a lot of good stuff in your swing. You can see rhythm, you can see power. I think if we fix the arms and the hands in the swing, you're gonna see some great benefits. So let's get into your video. Okay, so here's a down the line view. Looks like you take a middle pitch. It's in the middle of the plate at your waist. And you can see your bat path. You're not on the same plane with the ball. And you hit it off to the right, opposite field. Looks to be a little bit too high of a trajectory. Probably a pop out, but you know, it could have dropped in somewhere. But let's take a look at, actually let's pull a different pitch up here. This one's not showing as much of the swing as I'd like in the beginning here. Okay, this is a better view here of the beginning of your swing. So the pitch is coming. You come back and you load. You're loading with an arm bar. And we've talked about this a little bit, so I'm sure you understand it already. When you load with an arm bar, that is not the end of the world. You know, some major league players do this, but they get out of the arm bar and they get to the 90-degree triangle with their elbows and forearms and hands. As you can see here, you pretty much maintain an arm bar all the way through your swing. Okay. If you look at that right there, if you're arm barred, at contact there, your elbow's right there. Okay, so here we got you mocked up with Aaron Judge. And I'm just going to roll these. So you can take a close look at both swings. Okay. So the first thing I want to take a peek at here with Aaron Judge is the concept of swinging with your back, okay? You want to swing with your back. You see how he's rotating the back around and up, not fully rotational. You do this, I think, pretty well. Okay, I like your upper body movement. You could be bent over just a little bit more like Aaron. You might be just a little bit upright, but you move your torso very well in your swing, okay? The thing that needs improvement is, you can see, turning the triangle, but keeping the relationship of the position of the left elbow, right elbow, and the hands, other than turning the triangle throughout the swing. Everything stays pretty much in the same position. You're just turning your body, turning the triangle. You're not throwing your hands out with the arm bar. You're keeping everything pretty much in the same position as you're turning the body, turning the torso. Okay? So I want to concentrate on his left shoulder, left upper arm, and his left elbow here. Let's just roll it. Okay? You can see how he's pulling that up and behind him. Okay? If we take a look at what you're doing there, you're pushing it outward as you're arm barring versus only moving it up and outward, okay? So again, if you eliminate the arm bar, get some bend in that arm, move it with your back while you're turning the triangle, is simply the only adjustment in this scenario you need to make. If we take a look at your spine angle, you can see you're a little bit more upright than Aaron is there, so that's something to keep in mind. This will really come in handy on inside pitches. You'll see here, if Aaron had to attack an inside pitch, he can come, he's got enough body angle there. We can come in low and pull the hand straight through. You're a little bit more upright, so you would have to become rotational at that point in time to attack that inside pitch. But as you look at your complete swing here, you've really got a pretty nice step and load. Your body and torso are quiet. You don't have a lot of wasted movement there. So again, I really think if we can keep you from arm barring, perfect that snap drill, learn how to move the triangle correctly, just based on what I'm seeing here, you got some incredible potential to make an incredible leap in consistency of contact and hitting the ball where and how you need to. You lean the body back, you get really good body movement, which, if your arms were moving correctly, would give you great extension, give you great bat whip, great bat speed, great exit velocity. If you look at your left shoulder, you're turning that back, you're laying backwards. And the good thing about this is you have to do that if you're arm barring to get your hands through the swing. So, even though you're incorrectly keeping the arm bar through the whole swing,
what that is teaching you is that you have to lay back and get great rearward shoulder movement to get the bat in the right position. Even though on this pitch you can see you don't get the bat in the right position, even though you're thrusting backwards really hard to try to do that. But that's just part of the arm bar situation. You know, you're thrusting backwards so you can line the pitch up with the barrel of the bat, but you can see how difficult it is in arm barring versus keeping the 90 degrees and pulling your hands and cutting the ball with the laser off the end of your bat to make contact. So again, there's a lot of really good things about your swing. It shows really good potential. And I think these are really some simple fixes here. So
Okay, so I want you to take a break here and go to YouTube and type in the search bar the hover hitting drill. It's a drill by Mark Antonelli, or Matt Antonelli, I believe, I'm sorry. And I want you to watch that full video and see how he teaches it and explains it. It's a very simple, straightforward situation, but you want to hover and almost cock your hips a little bit like a pitcher does. So I want you to see how that looks when he teaches it and get a grasp of what he explains, and then come back here and I'll show you a little bit more about what you're doing so you can see the contrast in how he's teaching it. Okay, so let's take a look at your leg kick. All right, so you come back and straight forward. There's no hover in the hips. It's just completely linear back and then straight forward, okay? And if you've watched that video now, you can see some of the differences, and that's something we can work on in the cage. Again, like everything you got going on here, you know, that's not a bad leg kick. It's not a bad way to go at the ball. The hover is going to give you more time to assess the pitch, coil some of your power, and just attack the whole situation just a little bit differently. Okay, so again, you don't have a lot of things to clean up. You need to perfect the snap drill and maintain your 90-degree triangle and pull the hands correctly. But let's, you know, this view right here, this is going to show us how flat you are right here, okay? So I want you to really concentrate on that and what that arm bar creates compared to some other swings here. So here we've got you mocked up with Aaron Judge. And you can see he's maintaining that 90 throughout his swing until he gets to his power V. Okay, but right here where you're flat on that swing, you can see where his left elbow is and that he's maintained his 90. Okay, you can see the spread in his elbows and his maintaining the 90 there. You can see how you're fairly well collapsed right there due to arm barring, which casts the bat. I don't know that you would cast the bat all that much if you weren't arm barring. It looks like if you weren't arm barring that you would be pulling the bat perfectly. Okay. Another thing that tells me you're not far off from a really good swing. As we roll your swing though, you can tell that you really have no
power V to speak of. That arm bar is just going to make you come through the rest of the swing at a very fast rate, and you're not really going to get to a really good power V. You can see as we roll Aaron, he's going to come to that power V. When you arm bar, you pick up a lot of speed in your bat. That's why people arm bar in certain swings and at certain times. Professionals do arm bar. If you watch Mike Trout, he actually arm bars at the tail end of the swing before he power Vs. But he's got a very, very vertical swing, a very Ferris wheel swing versus a merry-go-round swing. So he does arm bar, but it's later in the swing. So I would watch a lot of Mike Trout and see how he uses arm barring. You know, arm barring itself is not a bad concept, but you maintain the arm bar from load all the way through the end of your swing. You got to come out of it and get to your 90. Okay. When you load, okay, when you load right there, I would suggest a little bit less arm barring and just load, you know, get in a position here before you swing of loading your 90 so that your 90-degree triangle is there from the beginning, and try to load with just a twist of your torso to move your 90 versus loading to an arm bar. And I can show you more about that in detail in the cages. But you can see when you arm bar throughout the whole swing, you're going to struggle with your contact point, your bat plane, and where you hit the ball. Okay? You can see this ball just pounded into the ground there. So, okay, here we've got you synced up with Abram. Abram's got himself a pretty good, pretty smooth delivery. He really has no wasted motion. He takes advantage of, you know, gaining maximum torque and velocity with his body movements. So you can see what those are. I'll just roll this back and forth so you have it on tape. And once we start pitching, we'll have a lot more film and a lot more things for you to look at. But I just wanted to throw that out there. You know, you got somebody at practice there that you can mimic. Okay, and then I'll put your raw film of everything else in there for you, and this is the end of your lesson, buddy.
Okay. So let's pause. Okay. All right. Okay. One more. I'll move the camera. Okay.
Yes.
So I'm going to come back, you load, and I'm going to throw it and you swing. Cool. Sorry. Loads.
Cheating.
Cool. Pick up all the balls, put them right here.
These aren't real balls.
No. You are correct.
Right.
You okay with that?
That's a first. Thank you, Coach. What are you doing in here? I don't know. You told me to come over here.
So you're next.
Hey, Logan.
And stand back here and just pick up balls, and then you're next.
Abram's going to come in here, so just jump in there with Cole.
Oh,
with
is Abram next?
Colby. Okay. Abram's coming right back. He's just getting a Band-Aid on him. Got a bad.
It'll be quick. You can hang out in here too, though, actually.
Who's Shilling! Come get in the hole. Shilling, go ahead and get to the next station. You can go to the next station too. Okay, if your back's uncomfortable though, I know that you can bring that in.
I'm not trying to do too much, but I'm still able to do some soft things on my wall or end up pulling.
Sawyer, go in that cage with Kyle. Logan's gonna stay deal. Hit off the tee. Let's get going here. Hey, who went after you?
I don't know what order.
Who went after you?
Cole and April.
Okay, all right.
Cole and April. I don't know what order.
Okay, okay. Tom, we got 5 or 6 more. Yeah, we're good. You want to try to recall anybody throwing today? Abram. Come here. No. Colby, come back. Hop in there. Wait. Okay.
I got the out the way.
Hold on. So you're next here. Come back here. Come on the other side of the fence so you don't get hit. All right.
Trying to kill me?
Whoa. Colby, hit the ball in the middle. Every ball. Okay, you're good. Good job, Colby. Ronnie, up in there. No, you're after Ronnie.